Welcome to another edition of United Way's Community Impact Agenda, Advancing the Common Good. I'm Allison Munson and I'm with United Way, and today I have joining me Marcy Williams from Big Brothers Big Sisters and Mark Lancaster from Luxon and Murfitt, and also one of my amazing board members. So today we're going to talk about Citizens Review. So Mark, you have a lot of experience about United Way Citizens Review. It's kind of your initial joining of becoming a United Way board member. Can you tell me a little bit about Citizens Review?
Sure. I grew up in Helena and was first lucky enough to participate in the Citizens Review process, I believe it was in 2010. And I've done it ever since. And the part that struck me the most and has kept me in it for so long is it's a fairly unique process that allows people from across the community to serve on our panels and get out and meet the people who work in the community assistance or the nonprofit sector, and really get to see what they do, to tour their facilities and to meet their clients, and see how needs across the spectrum in our community are met by really, really good people. And it's sort of something that it's easy to take for granted, I think, for a lot of these folks before they participate in the process, is that there is so much need and it's addressed so well by our community partners. And then to have a say in seeing how the donated dollar in the community is used to really effectively address those needs. So starting just as a community volunteer, I found myself asked to be on the board. I had the pleasure of serving as board chair for a year, and even through all that, I've still stayed with the Citizens Review process. And as we're shifting towards community impact and really finding those ways to fine-tune how the donated dollar is used, I'm just excited to see everything that's happening. And I hope more and more people in our community will join us in making sure that the money is used effectively and learning about why Helena works so well and is such a nice place to live. Well, the Helena area, we go to the 3 counties, but it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for all your years of volunteerism. You're going to live longer because you volunteer and going to be healthier in life. So, Marcy, you are one of our partner agencies and you go through the Citizens Review process every single year with us. What is it like from the partner agency on visitors, volunteers coming into your workplace to find out what you do?
Well, it's fantastic, and it is a chance for us to get to sing our song and what we are doing, and we can really take time to educate those members that come around and want to learn more. And many times they don't know exactly what we do, or they don't know the depth of it. And I know in the past we've had littles be a part with their bigs or their parents in those review processes, so they get to hear it from firsthand, and the board and the staff. So it's an opportunity for us to really educate that board, that review board, what we're doing. And I think it also helps as they go around to all the different organizations, they can pick up and see if there's duplication going on. And they can go back, I assume, to you and say, these organizations are doing similar things. Maybe they can collaborate and work together, which will save money, it saves resources. We always can do better if we can collaborate with other organizations. So we love to be a part of it. We get to sing our song.
So you are actually doing some collaboration with some of the other partners, and so could you share one of those stories with us today?
We have a new collaboration. Seroptimus International is providing a scholarship for 3 of our littles, well actually 2 of our littles, and then our program funds will pay for a 3rd little to participate with Thrive, Girls Thrive. And so wonderful. We feel really fortunate to have 3 different nonprofits working together for 3 littles, and that'll start the end of the month.
Oh, that's wonderful. I like to hear about all the new collaboration that's going on in our community.
That's just one. We have many.
I know.
We also work with Good Samaritan. We called them a few months ago and said we've got a couple of littles that came to our attention that through the bigs that these littles needed some hygiene products, and it can be a very touchy situation when they are teenagers. And so we called up Good Samaritan and said, we know you have the Placer Pantry, which is also partnering with, there's 2 women's groups, Seroptimus and the General Women's Federation, something like that. And so the Placer Pantry put together bags for 10 of our littles, 5 girls, 5 boys, and we brought those back, and the case manager got those in the hands of the littles, and then it's just, it's easier for everybody, but it can really make a difference for those teens that maybe don't want to ask mom to go buy shaving cream and deodorant or whatever. So we have lots of ways we collaborate throughout the Helena community, and it does make us all stronger. So we feel very fortunate.
Thank you, Marcy, so much for everything you do.
Oh.
So, yeah, I love Big Brothers Big Sisters. I love all of our partners, but yeah, I like you because you're one of my friends, too.
Well, and I just will mention I'm also a big to a
Oh.
girl, and I have 3 boys of my own, so it's really fun for me to have time with a little girl every week. So anyway.
And my past history of you, too, you are an amazing community member who does a lot of volunteer work and has the kindest and just most generous heart. So
Thanks,
thank you.
Allison. Let's move on.
I don't want to embarrass you on live TV.
Thank you.
So, Mark, so when this goes to the board of directors, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because it's mostly volunteer driven. We do a graded scoring on the application. Then we score the review process when you interview. And then that information goes to, this year, our tribunal, which is Susie Stanger, Bev Bloxel, and Darla Fitzpatrick. Then what happens after that process?
Well, traditionally, the board has viewed itself, and I don't know if this is the official line, but since I was the chair, I feel some license to speak. We viewed ourselves as sort of that final check to make sure, again, that the money the community donates for this purpose is really being used in the best possible way to address needs, again, all the way across the spectrum, from elderly adults who need Meals on Wheels, to Big Brothers Big Sisters, to support services, and I hate to mention specific partners because there are so many and they do such good work, but you know, teaching disabled children, dealing with our veterans, addressing the homeless population. There's so much that's done. The board itself, I think, with the very capable help of you, your staff, and several key volunteers in the community, in the last couple of years have really refined our process and allowed the board to make better use of the work product that our community volunteers have provided through the citizens review process. And so we're developing better tools every year that when we view the work done by these panels who go out and do the interviews and see the clients being served, then the board can say, this is an effective use of money, this money could be better used in a specific way. We respect the direct donations that people have given directly to our partner agencies. We also respect the money that people have entrusted to us, essentially, as the board of directors with our citizen volunteers to get the information we need, update it, compare it to years past, and then look to the future and say, how can we better this community?
Wonderful. So are you seeking any volunteers right now? I'm going to ask that if you're seeking volunteers.
Yes, we are. We always need bigs, and we mostly need men because the majority of our waiting list are little boys. So we definitely could use more volunteers. And then we always have events where we need help too. We've got legislative basketball coming up on April 7th, and then of course Wine Crash in May. So our phones are open. You can call 442-7479. We would be happy to get you involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Well, thank you both so much for joining me. Mark, I'm sorry.
As someone who has been a big several times for several young men, I would like people to know that there are a lot of ways to help. And not a lot of people know there's a program in the schools.
Yes.
As well as the more traditional, I can't remember the name of the exact program, the community-based matches. But I found it to be just a wonderful, rewarding experience. And I think you'll find that not just with Big Brothers Big Sisters, who is a fantastic partner for the United Way and a great boon to our community, but all of our agencies have such wonderful work they do. And I'd really encourage everyone who's even curious to get a hold of the United Way office or get a hold of a local nonprofit and get involved in our community, because it pays dividends. So.
Yeah, and with our process, the Citizens Review, we have about 70 community volunteers that give their time, their talent, and we appreciate it because it has to be a volunteer-driven process, and it's a great way to get to know the nonprofit community. So if you're out there in the community and want to do this, go to volunteerhelena.org and get involved.
Yeah.
So thank you both so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thank you.